Okay, greetings everybody, welcome back to the channel. Music's a little loud. Let's go adjust. It's already at 5%. I guess we'll take master volume down. Oh. Man, even at 2 or 3%, that seems loud. Let's settle in at 80 and 3%. There we go. Always fun to fire something newish up and see what has to be adjusted. So, howdy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever is appropriate for your location. I'm Warhammer here to play some Warhammer 40k Gladius Relics of War. Such a mouthful. I love Warhammer names. They're so great nowadays. I don't think they can get away with anything less than about 9 words anymore. So what is it? It's a war game, and I have played it on the channel previously. It's been a couple years, and I had always intended to get back to it because it's a really, really well done game. There's a lot of honestly trash Warhammer games out there. They just spewed the IP out to everybody that was semi-interested in making a game, and it's been pretty hit or miss quality-wise with the Warhammer properties. But this is one of the shining examples of a really, really well done gameplay experience. So what I'm hoping to do is refamiliarize myself with 40k Gladius. It has been a couple years, so it's going to be a whole lot of me hunting around and looking for things and figuring things out again. I am not an expert at it, but I remember enjoying it quite a bit. It's a really well done game. It's all war. It's all war. I mean, you want to say it's kind of a 4X-ish, but it's not really. It's just all about war. So it's really streamlined down to just the wargaming aspects. Got a really good miniatures combat on a computer type of feel to it, and we're gonna have some fun with it. I'm also hoping to make them into some co-op play where we can team up against a bunch of enemy AI units of different factions. That may not happen for a couple months when he frees up some more time, but I need to get some practice back in the meantime, so I have some idea what I'm doing if we do manage to shuffle together some co-op play. So let's get playing. Alright, so this is me. I am going to play the Space Marines. It's the only one I'm familiar with. I haven't played any of the other factions, so the only one I have any vague memory of is Space Marines. So we're going to go ahead and start a game with Space Marines. And I like this setup. We'll go with Necrons, Tyranids, and Orcs as our opponents. I do have it set on hard difficulty, so I don't know if that's going to be hard for me or not. We'll find out. No teams, so it's everybody against everybody. For this first one, and we'll do a medium world size, medium landmass, standard pace. I don't even know what's in the rest of this. I didn't really look at this side. Quests. Oh wait, I don't want quests. I hate the quest system. Don't want the quests, thanks. I just want a straight up war game against these other guys. Simultaneous turns, sure, I guess. Turn timer, none. Adaptive turn timer. Oh, that's what we've got, an adaptive turn timer? Really? With only one human? Does this make a difference? I'm not sure this makes a difference with one human. And I'm just going to leave the rest of this alone, all these density options. I don't have the faintest what would be good, bad, or other for these kinds of settings, but there's a lot of them to fiddle with, should you desire. And we have a world seed. Let's randomize that a few times. That looks like a great number right there. I like the looks of that number. So I don't have these DLC packs. I've got were Tyranids in the original release? I got Chaos Space Marines. I've got a little bit of the extra content, but not all of the different DLC packs and so on. So for this first game, we're going to just jump in with the basics. Give it a try, remember how it works, and then we'll go from there if we continue playing it. So, no teams. Sergeant. I get to select separately. I guess this is... I'm not sure. There's a general difficulty, and then apparently I can pick to... Is this like a handicapping system? I assume this is like a handicapping system of some kind. Oh yeah, so you can see which ones I've got for the factions. We've got the Astra Militarum, the Chaos Space Marines, Necrons, Orcs, Space Marines, Tyranids, We do not have the Craft World, Eldari, and the Tau. I think those are the most recent of the faction DLC packs. Alright, keep it on the Necrons, though. But, so... They're... What, 4 down? 4 down. I wonder if that's determined by this. If I say ultra hard, oh yeah, it switches them. Leaves me the same, switches them. Okay, got it. So it's applying independent bonuses. So instead of having a single difficulty setting, I can actually tailor the difficulty. I can make the Necrons harder or easier, however I'd like. So it is kind of a handicapping system per faction as opposed to just an overall difficulty. Cool, cool. I understand what they're doing. Alright, so I'm good with this. We're going to go Space Marines, Necrons, Tyranids, and Orcs. That should give us a nice mix of chaos and carnage on the battlefield. And of course, I hope they all kill each other and I just can sit in a corner and, you know, win by just waiting them out. That'd be fun, right? We shall see. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, I don't really care about that. And it was really loud. So, hopefully nobody needed to watch that intro cinematic. Basically, we're on a planet. We're going to drop some a city and we're going to start exploring and we're going to take stuff over and we're going to build stuff and we're going to go kill the enemy. That's pretty much how it works. So, we got dropped in the southwest corner. You can see how big the map is. There's the northern edge. There's the east, northeast, southeast, and we are over here. So there's 4 of us. I'm going to roughly assume that there's 1 of us in each corner. I don't know for certain that's how the game sets these maps up, but it is a randomized map. That's our zoom level, so we've got a couple of Space Marine units ready to go. That's our max zoom out level. Let's see, I can click and drag for the mouse, or for the map. WASD does not do anything. Arrow keys do. Good lord goddamn. Why is it... Why do people still make scrollable maps that don't have WASD? Ugh. It annoys me so much. Ugh. Yeah, I can't stand that. I don't think there's any other settings. Controls... It's like, are we using WASD for anything else ever at any time? So we have scrolling on arrows. Oh, wait. I think I can change it. If I can change it, that's okay. Oh, see, unit actions. So apparently we've got super important unit actions tied to the WASD. Why would I pick them via these? I'm always going to be picking unit actions via the menu I see. So if we hit OK, if I pick a unit... Apparently these things are, there's Q, there's W, so Overwatch is W. I would never pick it from the hotkeys. I want map scrolling on WASD. I don't want these things. I'm never going to remember all the combinations of units and their abilities and what keys go to which unit. If it was universal, it'd be different, but, I mean, every damn unit type is going to have their own set of features. So, how the hell am I going to remember that the W key for Space Marines does this thingy, but the W key, when I have something else selected, does a totally different thingy? I hate that. Alright, let's, can I make it WASD? I'm not sure I actually can make it WASD. Let's find out. I really want my WASD. Drives me nuts. Rolls, cargo, don't care, don't care. Don't care. Alright, that's what I want. So, right to unbind, middle to add new bind, left to change bind. Huh. So, let's unbind WASD. Get rid of that, so I want that. That. And hey now, there we go. It's Sadwa. We've got Sadwa is what we've got. I think that's correct. Oh, I have WASD. Thank God. Alright. All is forgiven. They have a good rebinding of keys set up. Alright, so there we go. Zoom in, zoom out. So, as you can see, graphics look really good up close. They actually did a really good job of all the modeling and everything. The only issue I remember having, and I'm still having, until I get used to the graphics again, is with the terrain, it looks so muddled when I first look at it. It's hard to distinguish what's where and what's going on. The units don't pop like they would on a flat map, because we've got actually terrain levels here. So we have a cliff here. So there's kind of a little pathway down, so you got to watch out for that kind of thing. And it's a little hard like this sometimes to notice the height difference depending on what zoom level you're in. I thought maybe I remember something about, oh, it's probably a mod. I think I remember something about like a mod that made the cliff edges a little more prominent, so they were a little more noticeable. It's pretty easy when I point it out like this, but there are occasions like this slope here. It's really hard to notice there's actually a slope there. Alright, well, however. So, yeah, we got terrain. This is a terrible spot, by the way. This is an awful, terrible spot. We got wireweed and wireweed taking up a huge amount of our supposedly new area. We got a Prometheum relay pipe. We've got the Grox pasture. And then we've got some Imperial ruins. And otherwise, we got a bunch of nasty volcanic terrain. Yeah, this is a terrible starting spot. I don't like it. Orcoid fungus and some rocks. I guess, I mean, it's going to depend a little bit on what's further south here. Alright, so, like I said, I haven't played in a long time. I have a very vague remembrance of some of the details, but unit progression, building, all that kind of stuff is still going to, it's going to have to come to me through me pointing and clicking at things. I know we've got the deploy city option, so we've got to pick our starting city location. Space Marines only get one city. After that, we deploy Fortresses of Redemption adjacent to special terrain, and that gives us access to that terrain in our city, since we can't build new cities next to terrain features to get the bonuses. So that's how these guys work. One city, and then kind of satellite fortresses that gather resources. It's showing me here things we discovered nearby: Webway Gate, Wireweed, Grox Pasture, and the Prometheum relay pipes. I knew about those. Spotted all those. And then we've got our 2 units of Tactical Space Marines. So it's really elegant combat system and unit system, and I remember having a lot of good fights where it really felt like I was playing the miniatures war game on the tabletop, and that's kind of what it's designed to emulate. A streamlined version to make it manageable in a reasonable time, but the systems and the interface and all the details are really well done. So if you're looking for a Warhammer game or a war game, make sure you check out Gladius. And hopefully you'll see that through the time we spend on it here. Okay. Let's see. I hunger for battle. Yeah, you macho Space Marines. Let's see what it's going to tell me when I say deploy city. It says these 2 are looking good, huh? Up there in the middle of all that volcanic rock. Why the hell? Oh, I see, because the Orcoid fungus and the Grox pasture. I guess I can see that one. So it's showing me the bonuses for the location. As you can see at the top of the screen, we've got requisitions, energy, research, and influence are the 4 resource types that we're going to primarily be worrying about. And there are bonuses available depending on what features are on a tile. So the Grox pasture here is giving us what? Requisitions. It's going to take me a while to remember all these names. And there's a difference between percentage bonuses and you'll see later when I click on things, it'll say like that. 2 energy or plus 20 energy. This is if you take control of the space by stepping on it, you just get a small bonus. The percentage is if you have it within the reach of your city. Meaning if I park like a fortress next to it, then I'd get the plus 20% applied to my city. I remember that much, but that's about the limits. So yeah, it's showing me all of these spaces adjacent to wherever I'm pointing so I can see what kind of bonuses are available. So requisitions and energy are pretty much it. The wire weed worries me, though. This is basically barbed wire, is essentially what it is. And, I kind of like the idea coming down south here. We got a big energy bonus coming out of the fungus. And, what is with that space? Desert, orcoid fungus, and rocks. Desert, promethium relay pipes, and an outpost. Should I move first? I could move a unit down south to kind of hopefully get a view down here. Let's do that first. I'd love to expand outwards, but I want to make sure what's behind me first. Looks like we've got another outpost right here. This webway gate, I don't know what this actually does. So it's got hit points, it's got armor value, and so on. It's considered a fortification. Fortification unit that allows the Eldari to travel from one place to another. So we don't have any Eldari in the game, so I don't think this will do anything in particular. I believe I can shoot it and destroy it, and we get some XP for doing that, but I wish I could see this space too, before I made my decision. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move the unit south. So to move, it's just right-click and hold, and you can see how your unit's going to move. Notice if I move here, it's highlighting in red because we'd have the range to attack. And on the left, it shows the webway gate, and we do 2.9 points of damage out of the, 25 I think that it has. And it's showing you what I would shoot with, my storm bolters, so on. I want to move to this position because I want to see what these spaces are if I can. More of same. What did we uncover? Vespid Stingwings. Alright, so like most games of this type, we have kind of neutral faction monsters that we have to fight on the map, as well as the other three main opponents that we're going to be dealing with. So we'll have a lot of these fights, and they vary in difficulty and intensity, so I do know and remember some of the things I need to run away from. So if we select this, they're still wanting me to go over there, huh? Energy production. So if you look at this right here, that little geometric symbol looks like kind of like a die that says number 2. That's the number of build slots that are available there. So we can't build anything on the promethium relay pipes. It's got a 0 build slots. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2 the rest of the way around. Looks like the lava is just flat ground, so we could do build of 3 pretty much everywhere here, except for the orcoid fungus, or the Grox pasture, but that's a special resource, so that's understandable. I don't think it won't even let me drop the city there. So one advantage of going up to the north is the number of build slots for buildings and upgrades we could do. I don't like that area. I haven't played it in so long, I don't really remember all the benefits. I mean, you're gonna have more build slots, but other than that, they're looking fairly similar. Even more energy available down south, but not as many requisitions. Alright, I'll probably take what they recommend, and we'll just go with it for this first one. We're gonna have a cliff to our west. I don't like being on the downside of a cliff. And then we're going to have wireweed. There's going to be a route up to the cliff top. Yeah, let's just do it. Maybe we'll do an initial start, and then we'll restart once I've got the feel for things again. I'll try not to do that, but let's just drop the city so we get things moving. So we'll go ahead and drop it right here where they suggest. Alright, there we go. We have the Spire. So that is our capital city. We can only have one capital city. The Space Marines don't get to build additional cities like most of the other factions do. We're going to be setting up buildings adjacent as we claim territory to expand the reach of the city. So we've already captured and have this within our reach automatically. Call the spire, and you can see here it's got the Great Hall, it's got the orbital relay, and we've got a slot for one other building. After that, we're going to have to claim a tile adjacent, and then we can build up to 3 on these other tiles. So these are the 2 things we've got in it, the Great Hall and the orbital relay. And the Great Hall doesn't do anything, it has no options, but it provides basically all of our initial resources. So, the Great Hall, headquarters building that generates resources. So we've got a population limit of 6, 12 requisition, 6 energy, 6 research, 6 influence, and 6 loyalty are being generated by our headquarters. And then we have the orbital relay, the first of our actual buildings that do something. This is how we get stuff. So we can acquire a tile, we can clear a tile, construct a refectory that generates requisition points, building that generates energy, the genitorium, the librarium for research, the assimilarum generates influence, and the apothecarian, that produces infantry, and also increases our population limit as well as a bit of research. So 6 production, population limit increases by 1, and we get 2 research points. So you can see the cost line below that. That's 6 turns to build. The reason it's 6 turns is based on how much production capacity we have, and the number of points it takes to build it. So, as you can see, it's 36 of the production points to build, so it's going to take us 6 turns because we currently have a production output of 6. That's all that it is, really. Pretty simple math. And then we can tell it to go to sleep, so it doesn't do anything until we tell it to do something again. It also consumes energy, and I guess generates influence? Yeah, these are generated, so it's giving us production points to build things with, it's consuming energy points, and it's providing influence. First thing we're going to say to build, though, is the apothecarian. We need a building that get more infantry units, because we're going to almost immediately start getting into fights. So let's go ahead and do that, and it's asking where we want to build it. We only have one option right now, the single slot we have available on our headquarters. Then you can see the timer. So it's going to take 6 turns to actually craft this or build it. So we don't have much else we can do here for a while. So this is our global resources. This is the city we've got selected. Then you can see the information for our individual units. And then we also can deploy Fortresses of Redemption. I think it's just every 10 turns we can do it. I don't believe it has any other cost involved. It's going to give us a defensive fortress that we can use to defend an area. It's going to have, I think, a las cannon attached to it. And it's mostly used to give you forward defensive bases, but also it claims any adjacent special resources, like the Prometheum relay pipes here. What do we got? A Necron tomb. Cities. So, and I don't know what this is quite yet. Now, I gotta think, 10 turns between using this, is it going to be more important to drop it, for example, here, or wait until I see what this is and drop it over here? I think with the enemy units here, we've got wireweed and a kind of a hill protecting this flank, although these guys can probably fly right over the wireweed. Oh, we got something right here too. That's one of the special resources. So on general energy production, we're at +5, and again with the interface, they do a really good job of telling you where everything's coming from. So we're gaining +4.6 per turn, 3 from our buildings, 1.2 from features, and then 0.4 from a loyalty bonus, because our units and our citizens that work in our factories are very loyal. So, we're positive, but that's going to go down as we keep building things, and they require upkeep and such. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop a fortress so we can kind of show what it does. I'm going to drop it here. Yeah, let's drop it forward as far as we can. Alright, so there is a Fortress of Redemption. Well, hi there, neophyte hybrids. Well, this will be interesting. So, as we can see, Fortress of Redemption, it has 10 armor, reducing the amount of damage taken from weapons and abilities. Each point of armor reduces the damage taken by approximately 8.3%, but weapons and abilities ignore a number of armor points up to their armor penetration value. So, normally we have 83% damage reduction, but these guys, for example, have... Not sure where the armor pen value is. It's going to be here. Armor penetration value of 0, so they don't have any penetration with their auto guns. So we got the full damage resistance value on the armor. So it's drastically reduced the amount of damage that we took in our fortress. So we only took 1 point of damage, where it says damage 1.1. I'll have to, it'll take me a little bit of time to get back from some of this. The details on everything and how they work and all the combinations. Neophyte hybrids, ranged infantry units specialized in ambushes. Alright. But I was talking about the fortress. So it's got good armor value. It's got 32 hit points, 10 morale. No actions currently because we just dropped it. It cannot move, and it's level 1. But it is equipped with a twin-linked las cannon. 8 damage, 1 attack, 6 armor penetration. So if it was shooting it itself, basically, 6 out of that 8 armor would get ignored. This is really good at penetrating armor. Accuracy of 10, range of 3. And it's considered a heavy unit, so it reduces the accuracy. We can't move. And it's 2x twin-linked, so increased accuracy. Las weapons fire packets of explosive laser energy. The larger the gun, the more powerful the shot. Regardless of size, las weapons are incredibly reliable, making them favored tools of war throughout the Imperium. Alright, next round we'll get to start firing with it, so it's going to really help us take out these other guys. And I'm trying to remember, I think I can step onto the space. If not, we'll step into here, because this outpost is going to give us some protection. Alright, let's look at the information. So, I know about that. Let's talk about wireweed. So, again, really, really well done interface and presentation and how they do things. So, wireweed, compendium. Feature that ends the movement of a unit and deals damage each turn. So, you can't just run through it. You stop movement when you move into a space with wireweed, and then it's going to do damage to you every turn that you're in wireweed. Woe betide anyone who wanders into these thickets of brambles. Slowly at first, but faster and faster, the living weed draws its razor-sharp filaments tighter around the hapless intruder. So, damage 3, attacks 1, 2 points of armor pen, 12 accuracy, range 1, ignores cover, and is a template. Alright, so Grok's Pasture is the special resource we found up north. Increases the food or requisitions output of the city when acquired. So we're getting benefits. And this is an example of where you can see both a percent and a particular plus number. And again, this is if you just step on it with a unit, you gain a small bonus. And then if it's brought within the reach of your city, either through expanding the city spaces directly or through dropping a fortress next to it, then your city gets the additional bonus in addition. The percent, that is. What else? Promethium relay pipes, same thing, just for energy and influence. Vespid wings. Vespid sting wings. Quick ranged infantry unit, excels at combat in ruins and can fly over obstacles. Again, very nice. They give you a real brief overview of the unit type, and then should you choose, you can read all of the very cool lore details about the units and how they work. Then you've got all of the attributes, the weapon type. Anything you point at, it gives you exact information. So it's fleet, it's got increased movement. It's hit and run, it ignores enemy zone of control, so it doesn't have to stop movement when it moves adjacent. Moves through cover with no penalty. And range damage reduction. Increases the range damage reduction while in Imperial ruins. So it can hide and seek in the ruins. It's got Overwatch ability, meaning it can attack an enemy that moves into their range. And it's got jump pack ability. Cool stuff. What else? Necron Tombs, I'm not worried about. Recaf Leaf, that's the one here that we spotted the side of. That is food. Yeah, food. Special feature increases the loyalty of the city when acquired. Recap Leaf. So, gives big loyalty bonus when acquired. So we'll definitely drop a fortress next to it. when we have an opportunity. And then we got attacked. And you can see where the attack. So we got one more unit we can order. Do we bring him south to reinforce? I think these two are going to be able to take these, hopefully without issues. So I think I'm gonna look elsewhere for a job for this guy. I'm gonna move diagonally north. When we get our first guy out of the building we crafted, we'll move him to the back and make sure we're covered back this direction, assuming I don't need to reinforce somebody. But yeah, let's go ahead and move up that position. It is one move for the unit and you're done. I can't say move here, okay, take a look, then move here, then move here. Basically, you get one move, and you got to live with it. Oh, the hounds, the hounds! And again, we got a little bit of a slope here, looks like. So notice the numbers when I point at this. It says 8, 10, 4. There's 9, 10, 3. 10, 10, 3. So the last digit is the height. So there is a slope here. So we're at height 4 and then height 3. It's just not as sharp as this one where we go from 4 down to 2. That's why there's a cliff face, because it's a two-step drop within a single space. So you end up with this cliff, which is very important for ranged fire. Somebody up here that has ranged and a melee down here wouldn't be able to get to them, that kind of thing. Alright, so we got some hounds. Kroot hounds. We can't get to them. They're really good at hit and run. They're fast. They've got forest stealth, which isn't going to do them much good currently. They can infiltrate. Prevents a unit from being targeted by Overwatch. And they can move through cover. So, yeah, they're quick movers. They do a lot of hit and run. So, two of them might be a little bit of an issue. We know about the hybrids. Don't care. Alright, let's keep moving. Research. Here's the research tree. We have tiers of research on up to tier 8. Nope, tier 10. Goes up to 10. So, in order to advance the research tiers, the only requirement, I believe, is I have to research 2 from tier 1, and that unlocks tier 2. 2 from tier 2 unlocks tier 3, and so on. You always have to get at least 2 techs from a tier before it's going to unlock the next tier. So, you don't have to get everything. You can pick and choose, like if I wanted frag grenades and the armory, I could take those and then I could start jumping into tier 2 and grabbing things. So you can pick and choose what you're going to go after. I don't remember the good ones. I know I'm going to get frag grenades really quickly. I might get that first. And again, it's a very simple system. It requires 36 research, and it's going to take me 6 turns because right now I'm generating 6 research. If I generate more research, the amount of time it takes is going to go down. And that's pretty much it. I just pick a research, and when it finishes, we get the access to that particular ability. But building that produces ground vehicles, frag grenade for our Space Marine infantry units to toss. Orbital scan basically lets us do a little snapshot look at a terrain tile and the adjacent tiles near it. Razorback I don't have access to, it's a DLC. Reclusium. Building produces heroes as well as generates influence and loyalty. And then the Tactical Doctrine. Chapter Tactic increases accuracy of tactical Space Marines. I'll probably go for Frag Grenade and Armory, I think, initially. And then I'll have to evaluate whether I want to jump to one of these or keep picking up the early stuff. Of course, they're going to get more expensive as the things increase. So it's 9 turns, 13 turns, 17 turns. It's pretty straightforward. And I really like that. It keeps it nice and streamlined, but it makes for important decisions. And it's really how this game is built. It's really stripped down, giving you a really clean interface with lots of really good lore information. And you get to make good decisions, but you can speed run your way through this research tree if you just gotta have melt-a-bombs. You can speed run through it to grab the melt-a-bombs. And it's a really good system. Really simplified, but still packs a lot of power. But you can see we go all the way out to Land Raiders for folks that are familiar with Warhammer 40k and the types of units that they have. We've got multi-meltas. We've got more heavy bolters, fortress upgrades for the fortresses we drop. Storm Raymond gunships, hurricane bolters, all sorts of fun stuff. So, let's pick something. You consider getting Gladius? Absolutely get Gladius. If you're even tangentially interested in Warhammer 40k or just straight up brawling war games, get Gladius. I have absolutely no reservations about recommending it. I mean, you can do some quick Googling and research and see that it's easily one of the best reviewed and best playing games for the Warhammer 40k in recent memory. So it's awesome. Both in single player, you can also do multiplayer in various versions. I think it does hot seat as well as play by email, as well as I think live play. I haven't looked into those in detail, but you can do skirmishes, you can do co-op, where you and your buddy are Space Marine chapters against hordes of whatever you decide to pick. So lots of different ways you can play, however you choose, and PvP, of course. But yeah, I don't even hesitate to recommend Gladius for folks that are even sort of interested in the kind of gameplay. I actually have gameplay of this on my channel, so I played it a couple years ago. I don't remember how many times I played it, and I got distracted by other things. I've always meant to go back to it, and I know they've been continuously updating it and adding to it, and there's a number of faction DLCs available, and they're continuing to support it, so it's they've got more on the way. So if you have a particular faction or chapter or so on that you're hoping to play, that's good. Another really nice thing is the factions play very, very differently. It's not just the exact same options with a different paint job, which unfortunately is something that a lot of games do. There's very little distinction between factions. In this one, orcs are massively different than Space Marines, which are massively different from the Astra Militarum. All of them play just incredibly differently in the units and the abilities and how their cities work. I mean, all parts of them are very different. So it gives you just a massive amount of variance and replayability. So, yeah. Who else has been chatting? I've been dialed in and kind of trying to explain some of the early stuff. So, howdy, everybody. Murder under Ancient, Fertile, Gentle Food, welcome. Is this like campaign or free mission, pre-created procedural? This is a random map, just a single fight. It's not a campaign or a storyline or anything like. Does this even have storyline campaign? I can't remember if there even is a storyline campaign. I don't think there is. You have an option to set a quest mode, which I turned off because I dislike the quest system, but I don't even know if this has a campaign, which I don't miss in the slightest. I just roll my eyes at campaigns usually anymore. But I mean, I've played so many games over 40 years that there's just not much new under the sun in regards to those. But now this one is just pick your world settings, tailor it however you'd like, pick your opponents and their difficulty levels, and then fight. That's pretty much it. So. If it has a campaign, and it may have one, I've just forgotten it. I did very little refamiliarizing before I went live, and I haven't played it in a couple years, so pardon me if I'm wrong or misremembering some of the details. I'm going for frag grenades. Let's get that done. So I've been talking a lot, and it took a lot of explaining, but basically I could have done this first turn in about 30 seconds, and that's another thing you're going to notice is it's going to go pretty quick when I'm not yakking so much and trying to explain things. But I wanted to point out some of the things. I mean, it's pretty familiar from an interface standpoint where we've got a mini-map down here, which, yes, we can grab and move around and show some info. We've got whatever unit we've selected. Really good details. I always really loved the attention to detail in this game. Not just from the unit standpoint, which they did a fabulous job of all of the units. And you'll see when we start getting into the orcs and the Tau, when we start contacting the enemies, just how good the artwork and the lore is. But just the interface in general is just chock full of really, really well done pop-ups and lore and iconography for everything. And it's just really, really snappy and runs great. All right, so let's we'll just hit end turn. We got nothing else we can do. Let's see what kind of attacks we suffer here. The crude hounds are just kind of wandering. Okay, so the hounds wandered. We're fine there. We can see here a little timer. That right there, that symbol is the symbol of the building. The Apothecarian is being constructed, and it's got 5 more rounds. And then we've got 1 of 6 population in our city currently. So pretty much everything you need is shown. If I click once, it's showing the spire and its stats. It's got hit points, it's got armor, it does have weapons. We've got 5 bolt guns as well as a twin-linked las cannon. So this structure can defend itself from a lot of the random animal stuff that might come nearby without me needing to park a unit in the area. Depends on the strength, of course. But so we've got twin-linked las cannon as well as bolt guns available. And they shall know no fear. Reduces the morale loss and grants immunity to fear. It's a fortification, a headquarters, allows transport of units, and it is a city. So it increases the damage reduction and the healing rate for allied units. So you want to retreat wounded units back to the city borders, and it increases their healing rates, basically. Disband, Overwatch, hold position till healed, skip, and set rally points. Oh yes, rally points, very important. Okay, let's see what we can do. So we have a Fortress of Redemption I clicked on, so now it is active. We do have our twin-linked las cannons, and it is highlighting in red anything that's within its reach. So we can take pot shots at the Desert Vespid, or the Vespid Stingwings. Notice right here in the pop-up it shows a bar with the estimated... I don't know if that's estimated or if that's guaranteed. I think it's guaranteed. I think it's always going to do exactly what you see. So I don't think there's a random factor involved there. It's just straight up, this gun is going to do this much damage. You have X armor. You have... My unit has X armor penetration value. Therefore, you are going to take this damage. So I think it's very predictable. I don't think there's... I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if there's any... random factor. I guess we'll find out. I can't remember. Most important question, how is the AI? Actually, it's really, really good. Now, when I say that, understand, in the realm of computer AI, it's considered very good, but I do know and remember that there are certain map configurations, meaning how you set the world up and how you set your opponents up, that you want to be a little cautious of. Because there are situations, depending on size of map, how many opponents, if you've got teams and so on. I believe the community over time has developed kind of a guide or a set of settings that will provide you with the best experience from a challenge standpoint from the AI. Because there are certain settings or setups where I think the AI will only go after each other, or I can't remember the details, but... if you get into it, just definitely check for recommended settings for the AI to give you a good challenge. But it plays really well. I remember having really, really good fights in the series I put up previously. And the AI did a good job of establishing a combat line, advancing, covering its perimeters, and so on. So we'll find out. I mean, it's had a couple of years of further development, so I have no idea yet. If there's been improvements to the AI. I didn't go look up what's happened in the meantime. I just, loaded it up and went live. So, but again, just do a little research. And as far as I remember from loosely following it as time has gone by, as well as the initial impressions, it's one of the better regarded AIs for combats. All right, so like I said, I don't think there's any random value here. We're going to do 2.5 damage. They have 15. So let's just go ahead and take our shot. 2.5 damage floating above. So they took the exact damage that I thought. Can we move? Yeah, we can move on to here, and then we would get the defensive bonuses. Notice we can fire from this two hexes away position, but we're not going to get as much damage. We're going to get 2.9 if I fire from 2 spaces away. I wish I could go adjacent and then select them so I could see the damage from right up in their face, because it's going to be more. But I can't get it to do that. I don't think there's a way for me to do it that way. I just have to move and then check it. So I could either step into the fortress and get the advantages, the bonuses for defense, and fire at range at less damage, or I can just move up and take heavy shots at it right away. I want to keep moving, actually. I might just leave the fortress to defend and move south, because I want to continue pushing my borders, and I want to see what this is. And we've got those Chaos Cultists down here somewhere. Yeah, let's move. If I move here, I don't want to get hit from two sides. Could retreat back to the fortress, but let's just move here. Alright, so they're hiding in the forest there, apparently. Alright, so now we can see we're going to do 2.5 damage once again. I don't have any other options. We don't have our grenades yet or anything like that. So, let's just take the shot. No reason not to. Killed one of the units. I believe if unit combat effectiveness goes down when they lose models, like the miniatures game. I want to say that's true, but I could be remembering wrong. I guess we'll find out when my own units start taking damage. Yeah, I can turn down the combat stuff. I haven't fiddled with all of the volume yet. We got music down to 3%. What do you think? Effects volume? Probably effects volume. Take it to 15, see if that gets it to a little friendlier level so we don't blow out the headphone users every time we fire. I think it also depends on what zoom level I'm at. It's louder up close. I just wanted to zoom in so we could see the animations for some of the fights. Alright, so this unit's done. We got one other unit that we can order. Crude hounds. I'm not really interested in chasing crude hounds yet. There is a bit of an impetus or a pressure to expand because there are ruins and such you can get to. First one to get to them gets a bonus. So mostly I'm really wanting to make sure my rear and this area is clear. So I'm tempted to pull this unit south. Both support while we take out these, as well as make sure we finish clearing this so I can secure my backside. So, don't want to move through the wireweed. If I move to here, we can come up this way, get this mapped in, and then loop around. Or I come down to support. Yeah, let's come down to support. Alright, and it just says end turn because it knows we have nothing else to do. We've moved in all of our units, no actions are left, we've already got research going. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, so we're at 12 out of 15 hit points. Amount of damage a unit can sustain before dying. Units automatically heal if they have not taken damage and have full movement and action points remaining. Group size is 4 out of 5, 10% healing rate. So it's a bad healing rate because we're out and about. We definitely need support. I think I'm going to pull back to the fortress and see if we can get these guys to come to me. Actually, let's take our free shot with the las cannon. Another 1.2. So from close up, we're going to do 3.1 or 4.0. We could put a pretty serious hurt. How far can we get these guys? We can get them into range to hit, but they're not going to do... Oh, wait, nope, we can't. Apparently the cover, the forest, is preventing us from being able to see and or hit them from range. So I'd be able to hit the gates from here, but I wouldn't be able to support this unit. We're at 3% on the music volume, and even then I had to take down the master volume to keep the music at a level I thought would be acceptable. So, okay, we'll go to 5. And not sure. I don't think this is really have much effect. I think this is just mouse clicking on things and so on. Cinematic volume, the cutscenes, I could care less, but let's drop that by a lot anyway. I'm not going to see too many cutscenes. Ambient volume, yeah, again, not real important. And go down to 10. So down on the EFX, up on the music slightly. We'll find a sweet spot here. Just keep letting me know if you want to adjust, and I'll maybe do it. Alright, so the question is, do we hold out and keep slugging away and taking damage? We could then retreat and heal up in the outpost. I would like to bring these guys forward, but they're not really, I mean, they're squirrely. I don't know if they're actually going to come at me, because they're kind of just roaming NPC enemy units. Let's bring you forward to here, take a shot at the gate, because why not? And you guys, we could probably kill this unit next round if we stick it out, then turn our attention. I could probably kill them both before I have to retreat a unit, assuming nothing else joins in. That's going to leave these guys pretty heavily wounded, and I'll have to bring them back to a better healing spot for a while. Or I pull back into the defensive positions, hope they follow, and then we can kill them from the defensive positions. Let's try that for a turn. Let's give that a try. Of course, I just moved him. Yeah, that's fine. Get into the outpost. So I'm curious. Plus 15% healing rate. So we went from 10% to 15%. That'll help a little bit, but best would be to get up into the main city. That'd take a couple of turns. Alright, we're done. So he did follow up. Whoa! Hey there! What are you gonna do? More neophyte hybrids, huh? 3 more turns before our Apothecarian is done. Take the shot. Are these guys naturally healing? They get their 10% heal rate. I don't think they attacked last round, so I think they healed. Well, alright, let's start killing some stuff. Need my grenades is what I need. The next round we'll be able to finish that unit, but that means unfortunately we're going to be continuing to take hits. I like that they show you who attacked, who got hit, and then how much they got hit for. And a retreat! No! I didn't need that. Unit eliminated. Alright. Now, we should have... I wasn't watching closely enough, but I believe... If I remember right, the experience system, as long as units are within a certain range, when one unit gets a kill, nearby units also get XP. So... 1.1 out of 3 experience, 2 death experience value. Experience level of unit, each level above the first increases the unit's hit points and damage by 5%, as well as morale by 10%. And you are at 1.1. Yeah, so they got equivalent XP just for being near each other in the combat. I don't remember the range that you have to be at, But it's important to try to keep units together as much as possible. Usually I like to trundle around in groups of 3 tactical space marines. That seems to be a strong enough force that they can deal with all of these random things fairly easily, especially once I get the grenades in play. And that way I can alternate tossing grenades between the units and their recharge timers. But by keeping them in groups, I can maximize the XP gain, as well as, you know, have a pretty powerful force. Alright, so we forced a retreat, we killed a unit, and the Spire grew to 2 out of 6 population. We got, what, 2 more turns? Alright, they pulled away as well. So we are down some hit points. We're at 11 out of 15. Still have our full unit count. Oh, no, we're at 4 out of 5. And we got 5 more turns on our fortress still. Advance or... yeah, let's keep advance. I'm hopeful that these are the only units in the area here. Oh, out in the open. I like it. So you got an Overwatch attack. Is this the one I fought earlier? This better not be the one I fought earlier. Back to full strength. No way they got back to full strength at a 10%. So that must be another unit. I think the unit I fought is somewhere back here in the shadows still. But, yeah, Ruins of Vowel. Vowel? Unexplored. This is one of those things where we need to get to it so we can get a bonus of some kind. Hence why we are fighting. Alright, let's... Hopefully this guy stays out of it. Wait. Yeah. So, if he doesn't pull back, we'll get that eliminated in next round. We won't be able to do it with one unit. We'll have to use both, unfortunately. But I might be able to... no, they're not going to let me maneuver around him unless he moves. Well, we'll see. Alright, the Jooms? Well, hey there, the Jooms. Ruins of Vowel. Special feature provides a reward to the first unit that enters the tile and increases the research output of the city when acquired. So, yes, we get a research bonus, as well as some kind of randomized bonus, I believe. So that was a high-level Hammer of Wrath. Wonder if that's the interface volume. Research complete frag grenades. Well, that's going to help. Grants infantry the ability to throw anti-infantry grenades. That's what I need. I might be able to kill them with a frag grenade. So now, when we select our Marines, we have a new option, frag grenade. They've got 3 grenades. They do have a cooldown timer between uses. And I think... I'm trying to remember if I have to take them back to a city to re-up their grenade supply. I can't remember how that works. I guess we'll find out. But if I select that, now we can see we're going to kill the unit outright if I toss grenades at them. So we're going to do the full damage. So I could either toss a grenade, kill the unit, and then have the other unit occupy the site. Or I save my grenades for other fights. I think I'm going to go ahead and toss the grenade. Let's do a close-in volume with the grenade. Volume check. Well, that wasn't too loud. Alright. And then you guys will occupy the ruins. Items. Hero items can be found from exploration, received from quest rewards, or bought at the Jacaro Trader encampments. Items provide either a passive bonus or give the unit a new ability that can be performed once or multiple times as a free action. Before being able to claim an item, you'll have to recruit and select a hero unit. Oh, really? Really? Unclaimed items. Adamantium Weave Vest. Select hero unit before claiming the item. Range self, passive action, increase the armor. So it's +2 armor value. That's actually really good. Alright, so we got a hero item that we will be able to equip once we get our heroes rolling. And then it created an outpost around the space, which claimed the tile for us, and we're now getting 2 research bonus from that. So if we look at our numbers here, where it says +2 from features, that's what this is generating. We're getting 2 points of research from this. We're not getting the +20% bonus, which I believe is why it's in yellow in this pop-up. I'd have to drop a fortress over here, and then we would get the bonus in our city. Not sure. I think the webway gate just goes away when we blow it up. But I was trying to figure out... There's the damaged one. Man, he really retreated. Good job retreating there. But there was that other unit that said hammer of something or other, and it had a number 2 above it, so I'm wondering if it's an upgraded type of unit.